I'm Linda and I'm from Nutrisystem. Welcome again to Nutrisystem Live. It's fun for us to get together like this. Today we have a real treat for you. A real success story from somebody who lost over 100 pounds on Nutrisystem. He's a combat veteran and he's a super guy to boot. So he's right here. His name is Chris Rennick. Chris, say hi to Nutrisystem Live.
Hello everyone. Thank you for having me and let me share my story with you.
All right, so Chris, I want you to tell me about yourself. I know that we mentioned that you're a combat veteran and that you've all lost over 100 pounds, but there's a lot of story there. So can you just describe to me the first part of that? Tell us all about your veteran part.
Okay. Yes, I was served in the Marine Corps and the Marines, hoorah, from 2002 to 2006. I did 2 combat deployments, one from 03 to 04 and another one from 2004 to 2005.
So you said, so he gave us the oorah, but he didn't give us the real oorah. Let's hear the real Marine oorah.
Hoorah!
Can you believe he did that? Anyway, so the veteran part, so you were in the Marines and you were a combat veteran, you were deployed, and then toward the end of your military career, how much did you weigh? And then what was your mindset?
After separating from the Marine Corps, while I was in the Marine Corps, I weighed anywhere between 185 to 195. When I separated from the Marine Corps, my wife, she was currently pregnant at the time, and so was I with my weight. And when she had the baby, she lost her baby weight, and I didn't. But I was significantly gaining as soon as I separated from service. But in service, 185, and when I started separating service, I was already in the 200s.
Wow, that's a tough story. So then you're coming back, your wife's pregnant, you're coming back from service. So what's life like as far as getting back to a normal life after Iraq? What's all entailed with that?
The biggest thing is the transition, actually knowing people and networking and looking for a job. And I got out and I was living in where my wife was from, so I actually didn't really know anyone. It was very hard to network, very hard to find a job just to afford the cost of living, and also when you're struggling with other issues. But you know, finances can be a huge burden. But I was just wanting to get out and trying to find my place in the world.
So I know that transitioning can be tough, especially for a lot of veterans. And then you have a new family, you're looking at a new career, you're transitioning out of the military, and then you find yourself gaining weight, and then you visit doctor. So tell me what your doctor visit was like. What led you there? What were the things that the doctor shared with you that maybe changed your life?
When I visited with my doctor, I was made aware that I weighed 289 pounds, over almost 100 pounds more than what I weighed when I separated service. Also, that I had high blood pressure, that that one of my bad cholesterols were high, as well as I had high blood pressure. And that was pretty concerning. But the big factor for me was when the doctor told me that you're obese. And when they said obese, I took that word very serious. If someone says, you know, you're overweight or you're gaining a lot of weight, that's just somewhat of a terminology. But what I responded to was the obese.
Obese. Those are tough words there. So you have so medically your doctor says you're obese, and then you're working at this new job. And tell me what you try to do next. What's your mindset? How do you find Nutrisystem? What's your journey as far as going on to the next steps?
Sure. I was working at an office, in an office environment, and was out getting lunch one day, and I was somewhere where, you know, I was constantly having to go out and get lunch, and that was getting expensive. And I saw Nutrisystem on the shelf, and I also saw, I'd kind of put two and two together. I knew that Dan Marino, I'd seen the commercials before when I watched SportsCenter, but I saw it there on the shelf, and I said, hey, give this a shot. You know, I can eat this while I'm at the office. It'll save time. And I was getting backed up at work with phone calls when I returned back from lunch, and that's how it all started.
Cool, Dan Marino, getting a shout out. Thanks. So now you're losing weight, and so tell me, so you have that journey, you lose over 100 pounds. Tell me exactly how much weight you've lost, if you don't mind sharing how much you weigh right now, and tell me how you feel. I mean, how does it feel to have less than 100 pounds on you.
I've lost over 120 pounds. I started off at 289. My checkup just over a year later was 171 pounds, so 119 pounds. But I currently weigh, I'm in the 160s right now. We'll just say that. I'm in the 160s, I'm happy, and I feel awesome.
In the 160s. Okay, so 289 pounds to in the 160s. That is a huge amount of weight to lose. So tell us about your energy. You didn't get into that. Tell me how it's like, because I know you had a family. You have a family. Tell me about the kids. Tell me about playing with the kids and how much energy you have to work with them.
Okay. Obviously, everyone knows it takes a lot of energy to play with kids, especially mine. I have 3, and I would say my energy levels are consistent. I don't have I don't have any crashes, and I also notice that when I want to do my workout, I can not only do my workout, but I can also play with the kids after. If it's going to a park, I can play at the park all day long, and I don't feel those second, third-hand effects the following day. But as far as for workout, all the workouts I do, whether it's hiking or doing pull-ups, dips, things of that nature, the next day I feel stronger, I feel better, I don't feel like my body's broken down, and it's a great feeling to feel like you're starting to get your strength back, not just trying to sustain.
Right. Okay, so getting into the Nutrisystem foods a little bit, there's probably a bunch of folks that are watching that are on Nutrisystem, or maybe you want to try Nutrisystem. So why don't you tell us what's your favorite go-to food? What's your kind of an entree? What was your favorite, or what is your favorite?
Entree has to be the chicken noodle soup. One thing I noticed with the soups is that you heat it up, and you can't eat soup fast. You can't overeat soup, and by the time you get halfway through it, you're already kind of sweating. But it keeps you motivated, and it keeps you from not only from overeating, but it fills you up. Eating soup has always filled me up.
I love the chicken noodle soup too. So then there's those hard times, the ones that get you through the cravings and those hard times where you're like, oh gosh, I just got to have something sweet. So is it sweet? Is it salty? What is it? What's your go-to Nutrisystem snack for that?
Double chocolate muffin. Double chocolate muffin.
Double chocolate. That is actually a really good muffin. Okay, so I know you're not perfect about eating. No one is. How do you get back on track if you've had a bad day or a bad couple of days? How do you do that?
I start off with really short-term goals. I say, today I'm going to do this meal. I'll supplement this meal. I'll start off with just lunch, and then the next day I try to do, lunch and dinner, and then the next day, if I get to that point, of breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But also, if things are getting really tough, supplement. Get those vegetables in, get those fruits in, get some sautéed vegetables in. If you're going to supplement something in there, make sure it's something healthy, so you don't feel like you're falling so far behind.
That's good advice. So what about people who are on the weight loss journey right now, and they are losing inspiration? What words can you tell them, to stay on the journey? What did you tell yourself? How did you motivate yourself in order to continue to lose all the weight that you did?
I would say to have short-term goals, have long-term goals. If you were fit before, have some pictures up of what you used to look like. You have to have those goals set so you know what you're trying to reach. If your goal is to try to lose 3 pounds, 2 pounds that week, and you only lose 1 pound, are you closer to your goal? Yes, you are closer to your goal. Are you further away from your goal? No, you're not further away from your goal. Keep pushing. It doesn't matter if it's 1 pound, if it's half a pound. All that matters is, are you losing weight, and how do you feel? Because this stuff, it makes you feel great.
I love that. So you're basically talking about doing some short-term goals, and then doing some long-term goals, so like an overall goal, and then just some midpoint ones, so that you can reach those and feel like you're getting someplace. And you're such an impressive person. You're so inspiring, and I love it that you came here today to spend time with us. Thank you for that.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for letting me share my story. For be able to be here with everyone from Nutrisystem it's a blessing, and something I never expected. But at the same time, to not have ever met, to have such a positive impact on my life, it's like we are, you just have such a huge influence on me that it's just great to finally meet you and finally be here.
This is wonderful for us. I mean, I realize that everybody out there on that we live for the reason, some of the reason that we wake up every day is to hear the inspiring stories of people who have lost weight, people who have had big successes. So these are the types of things that we love. It brings us joy every day to hear these great success stories, and things like this is just one of those. So thank you so much for tuning